Hello, Patriots. Did you hear about Google's admission that it shut down YouTube channels whose content the Biden administration didn't like? What am I talking about? Stay tuned. Hi, I'm Dr. Ken Henry, and this is Conservative Commentary, where we spread the MAGA message. Before we dive in, please like, comment, share, and subscribe. This really helps us grow and get the message out. Now, in a stunning admission that should shake every American to their core, Google has confessed to removing YouTube accounts under pressure from the Biden administration. Now, mind you, these accounts did not violate YouTube's own policies. Let that sink in. The federal government, under Joe Biden, leaned on one of the most powerful tech companies in the world to silence voices it didn't like. Not because they broke the rules, not because they spread actual harm, but because they dared to challenge the regime's narrative on COVID-19, elections, and other politically sensitive topics. Now, this is not just a scandal, it's a betrayal of the First Amendment, and it's proof that MAGA movement has been right all along. The establishment will do anything to suppress dissent, especially when that dissent threatens their grip on power. Now, according to a letter sent by Google to the House Judiciary Committee, the Biden administration pressured the company to remove content that didn't violate its policies. Google called this pressure unacceptable and wrong and pledged to reinstate thousands of banned accounts. Get that again. Thousands of banned accounts. Now, these weren't fringe accounts spewing hate or inciting violence. They were creators, commentators, and citizens who questioned the government's COVID mandates, election procedures, and other sacred cows of the liberal elite. This wasn't moderation, it was manipulation. The Biden White House didn't just ask for enforcement of existing rules, it demanded the removal of lawful speech, and Google complied. This is the very definition of state-sponsored censorship. The government didn't need to pass a law or win a court case. It simply picked up the phone, made its demands, and big tech obeyed. That's not democracy, that's authoritarianism with a Silicon Valley smile. Now, among those banned were high-profile conservative figures like Dan Bongino, Sebastian Gorka, and Steve Bannon. These are not random provocateurs. They are influential voices in the conservative movement, with massive followings and deep engagement. Their crime? Speaking out against the COVID lockdowns, mask mandates, and election irregularities, topics that millions of Americans were concerned about. Now, YouTube didn't just demonetize or shadow ban these creators, it nuked their accounts entirely. No warning, no appeal, just digital execution, and now we learn that this purge was driven not by YouTube's internal standards, but by Biden's political agenda. This is the same administration that promised to restore the soul of the nation. Apparently, that soul doesn't include free speech for conservatives. When the government colludes with tech giants to silence dissent, it doesn't just affect the banned creators. It sends a message to everyone else. Speak out, and you could be next. This chilling effect is real. It's why so many Americans self-censor online. It's why alternative platforms like Rumble and Truth Social have exploded in popularity. People are tired of being told what they can and cannot say. They're tired of being labeled as misinformers for asking questions. And they're tired of watching their favorite voices disappear without explanation. The MAGA movement has always been about challenging the status quo, about asking hard questions, about refusing to bow to the narrative, and that's precisely why it's under attack. Now, Google's letter also warned about European censorship laws that pressure U.S. companies to remove lawful content. This is not just an American problem, it's a global problem. The EU's Digital Services Act, championed by leftist elites like Hillary Clinton, seek to regulate online speech under the guise of fighting disinformation. But what counts as disinformation? Who decides? Well, what is it? Anything that challenges the ruling class, maybe? If American companies bend the knee to foreign censorship regimes, our own First Amendment becomes meaningless. We cannot allow Brussels to dictate what Americans can say online. And we cannot allow Washington to use big tech as a backdoor to silence political opposition. Chairman Jim Jordan's investigation into big tech censorship is a critical first step, but it's not enough. We need real accountability. That means subpoenas, hearings, and legislation that prevents future collusion between government and tech platforms. We also need alternatives. Relying on just YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter is a losing game. These platforms are run by people who despise our values. They will always find new ways to suppress us. That's why MAGA must continue building its own digital infrastructure, platforms that respect free speech and refuse to play the censorship game. Finally, we need cultural resistance. Every time a conservative voice is banned, we must amplify it elsewhere. Every time the regime pushes a narrative, we must question it. Every time they try to silence us, we must speak louder. This revelation about Google and Biden is not just a tech story. It's a constitutional crisis. It's proof that the ruling class will use every tool at its disposal to crush dissent. And it's a call to action for every patriot who believes in the First Amendment. The MAGA movement stands for truth, transparency, and freedom. We will not be silenced. We will not be intimidated. And we will not stop fighting until every American, regardless of political affiliation, can speak freely without fear of government-backed censorship. The battle lines are clear. On one side, the regime, the tech giants, and the global censors. On the other, the people, the Constitution, and the truth. Choose your side because the future of free speech depends on it. What do you think? Share your thoughts in the comments.